So the Constitution, state and federal Constitution, applies 100% of the time, no matter what the situation is. Government is instituted to protect your rights. That's its first order. Okay, government is instituted to protect the rights of the people. And the moment they stop protecting your rights and start attacking you and violating your rights, they are technically become a de facto government. Okay, what they're doing is actually acting as a private corporation that is using you and utilizing you for income. Okay, that's what they're trying to do at that point. They're no longer serving a government function. Okay, and that's 90% of what people encounter today is these de facto governments, not de jure, because most crimes are not real crimes. They're not actual crimes. I think, well, I mean, there are real crimes, but I'm saying like real crimes as in like an injured party, something like that. Most of the stuff that people get in trouble for, it has no victim, right? And most of it involves violating a right. Okay, you have a right to own property. You have a right to travel. You have a right to speech, right? You have a right to be secure in your person's papers and effects. Okay, you have a right to remain silent. They violate all these rights. If you've ever walked into a courthouse, your Fourth Amendment right has been violated. Because what do they do at the door? They make you empty out your pockets and they run everything through a scanner and make you walk through a metal detector. Fourth Amendment violation. Every single courthouse. So the moment they do that, what they've done is stopped acting as a government agency. A government that was built by the people, for the people, and they start acting as a corporation, a for-profit corporation. That's what we're running into. Because they're operating as this corporate entity rather than a government, a de jure government now, they won't apply the Constitution because it hurts the state statutes, ordinances, and other regulations that they're applying against you in order to make money off of you. Okay? That's a problem. That's why I'm on here. That's why I make these videos. That's why I talk to people and tell them about what's going on. Because of that, I've had my own issues with this. Okay, it's not a secret. Everyone knows. Okay, I talk about it, right? The purpose of law is to limit government. Okay, but what they do with it is the opposite. What they do is expand government, give it more power. Okay, all that power, of course, is imaginary because they can't actually do it, but they do it anyway. And who do they put in charge to enforce those de facto laws, okay, and all that other crap? People who have no idea, who will never study it, and will never question it. And they pick those people on purpose, okay? They pick people whose IQ is high enough to follow an order, but not high enough to question the order, right? And it makes a lot of sense, right? So think of it like this, right? Someone is smart enough to know, hey, this is how you do this. Okay, I'm going to do it like that. So they're going to do it. But they're smart enough to know that if they try to think outside of that, they're going to get lost, confused, and be uncertain about what they're supposed to do. So they'll follow an order. That's someone whose IQ is high enough to follow an order, but not high enough to question the order. Because they're not intelligent enough to come to a reasonable conclusion of another way to address the situation. But they are smart enough to be able to get the concept of what they're supposed to do and then do the action that they're told to do. Someone who's very low IQ, you have to tell them like 50 times and they may kind of get it a little right eventually. That's low IQ. Okay? Average IQ is actually very low. I'm sure everyone see those ads, right? The average American IQ is like 97 or 98 or whatever. That's an idiot. Okay? and don't ban me, TikTok, for saying that, or don't take this video down, is idiot is an actual term with an actual definition. And someone with a 90 IQ is an idiot, okay? It's not a smart person. Not at all. That's not a smart man or a smart woman. I'm sorry. But if the average, intelligence of a man or woman in America is in the high 90s, this is why we have problems in this country. Okay? People can't even read. I'm sitting here with another dude here, and he's arguing all this stuff, and I'm like, he doesn't even understand grammar. It's real simple. He doesn't. He's arguing and arguing and arguing, and I'm like, yeah, but you don't even know what this word means. He's like arguing things, but he doesn't even know what the words he's using means. Okay? Then he's like, well, there's a semicolon there, so I'm right. And I'm like, you don't even know what a semicolon does. So, and then he won't even look it up. I had to go make TikToks just to show him what a semicolon meant. Okay? It's sad. And, it's not, I'm not blaming the individual on that. I'm blaming, if you're like 50 years old and you don't know what a semicolon is, you better go look it up instead of arguing, right? But if you're like straight out of school and you don't know what a semicolon is, that's on your teachers. They should have taught you that. All right? We should all know grammar and be able to read and write without any issues. But most people can't. Most people are semi-literate. Semi-literacy is a big problem in our country. Because that's what they have the ability to read and write, but it's limited, right? I can sit here and just start asking people, oh, what's this mean? What's that mean? You can't answer because they don't know, because the school doesn't teach people this stuff, right? So I get it. It's tough, but because of the fact that we're dealing with people, and it's all manufactured. Okay, all of that's manufactured. It's not like it's not like people have low IQs because we suck as Americans. No, it was all created on purpose. This has been a purposeful issue. Wasn't the intent of this. The intent of this video was to talk about the de facto government versus a de jure government. Okay. And the de jure government will protect and uphold your rights. And the de facto government will stomp on your rights in order to get a payday. Okay, that's really the simplicity of the two things, right? And if you read your state constitution, this is really important. If you read your state constitution, you're going to find out that the people are where the government gets its authority from. So without your consent and without your power, the government has none. Zero. Zilch. Okay, and they won't have it. So you have to give them consent. And I would just ask the court, when did I ever give you consent? When did I give those guys consent? Can you show me where they had received my express consent? It has to be express. It can't be implied. If they said, well, the consent was implied. Well, how was it implied? Okay, was I made aware of this? Was there any kind of transparency about the fact that this was implied and I was handing over this consent in this implied manner? Show it to me. Okay? Show me how your ordinance, rule, regulation, statute does not violate the state constitution. How does it not? What's the reasoning behind that? Show me that. They can't. Those are the things they can't really argue. Because a lot of the statutes are written by insurance companies and people who are looking to make a buck. Okay, so they don't care. They have no respect for your rights, and they write the laws to favor lawyers. Okay, got that? Even a lawyer made it down in 60 minutes. Okay, so it's all there. That's what's going on, and the state courts are all executive. They're not real courts anyway. They're not real at all. There's some lawyers going to come on here and talk about that, but because all the judges are under the executive branch, they're not real courts. They're actually just hearing officers, and those are just banks doing banking, right? So that's all it is. All right. But yes, the Constitution applies 100% of the time.